Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, YouTube. Thank you for watching the Solid Sports and Gaming channel. You're watching the Solid Sports Video Blog episode 328. Today's date is April 21st, 2026. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry about an hour late today. Actually, I just got up late. I had to blame my brother for this one. I woke up late. Haven't been really sleeping well. My sleep been off a little bit. Got up a little late, so had to push the time back and myself get up and get myself together. But I'm gonna try to make this I don't want to say a short show, but try to not lag too much unless we have to. Since I started late. We're gonna talk about the usual. Again, I apologize for last week. I canceled on Thursday, and I didn't do the Friday night stream either. So I apologize for that. But like I said, we're gonna try to get a lot of content done this week for sure. We're gonna talk about the MLB. We'll look at the current standings in the major leagues, and we'll talk about the NBA playoffs, which is starting to get interesting already. Two big road wins last night. Atlanta, gutsy win in New York, and save for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They tied the series at one apiece with the Denver Nuggets. So them series have definitely taken a turn. Cavaliers dominate. We'll talk about that and the other series that's going on in the first round. We'll look at the NFL a little bit, talk about the draft, hit on the biggest storylines that's coming on Thursday. We're going to go live on Thursday as well. So we'll definitely talk more about the draft. Probably some more news will come out by then. NBA playoffs, a couple of more game twos will be played. So we have a lot to talk about Thursday as well. But thank you guys for joining me this morning. Appreciate it. Um, uh, Thank you, fam, for commenting. Appreciate it, man. So let's go ahead and get into it. I ain't gonna waste a lot of time today. Already behind. Um, Major League Baseball, like I said, early in the season. We're just gonna look at the current standings real quick. I'll probably touch on a few teams, give my opinions, and keep it going. Um, American League East, I always like to start the American League East. Still early, but the Yankees, they sort of got out they funk. They in first place at 13-9. Like I said, I think they pitching has been the surprise for them so far this season. Quietly, Tampa Bay Rays in second place. I know it's early, 12-10. Um, Baltimore Orioles. I'm from Baltimore. I just watched them last night against the Royals. I touch on that when I get to them to Kansas City. Horrible loss for the Royals last night. Orioles right there, a game under the Toronto and Boston, who you expect to make a push. Both 9-13, both tied for fourth place in the division. The Central, I think this is how the Central going to be all year long in the American League. Cleveland, two games over at 13-11. Detroit, it's sort of fought back. They had a slow start. They right there at the top of the division. Minnesota Twins even 11-11. White Sox started off the first week, um, but then they turned it around, and then the Royals. Like I said, that game last night, I watched it because I'm an Orioles fan. Um, they left like 13 men on base. It was just horrible. The starting pitcher did his job. Orioles couldn't get a hit to save their life. Then the extra innings, they blew it open. Was able to win. I think that's Kansas City eighth straight loss. So they're not looking good. But the lucky thing is they're only 5.5 out being in last place. So they still in striking distance to turn things around. Um, American League West bunched up. A's right now in first place. So A's fans try to enjoy that for now. But I think they got a young team, so they might hang around. They did last year. Texas Rangers, even at 11-11. Then you got the Angels, two under. Seattle and Houston, they're the two teams you thought would be on top. They are at the bottom right now. Seattle at 10-14, Houston at 9-15. Um, The Astros, though, I think, sort of how I feel about the Warriors in basketball. I just think that little run that they had um, is pretty much over. They need to probably reset again. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes. But your Neverrez leads the league in home runs. I saw that yesterday, so that's interesting for the Astros there. Um, I say this with my chest as we go to the National League East. Atlanta Braves 16-7, um, right there with the Dodgers for the best record in baseball. I hope that continues. And also good news for us. The Phillies and the Mets are already 7.5 and 8.5 back. They're supposed to be the two teams. You got Miami and Washington hanging in there, but you expect them to sort of falter a little bit. So opportunity for my Braves this year to bounce back, win this division. Still a long way to go, but um, the Phillies, I think that of course you think the Phillies and the Mets going to rebound a little bit, play better. Mets, like I said, I'm not high on the Mets like everybody else is this season, but they got talent there. They might bounce back, but um, hopefully my Braves keep winning, get a big cushion, and they probably gonna have well, every baseball team go through it where you sort of slump a little bit, lose a few games here and there. So they just gotta get a cushion and keep pushing forward. Hopefully we can hold on and win the division. But it's early. It's early. It's still April, so it's still early. Um, and that was Central Cincinnati Reds are your first place team there, 15-8. Um, Pittsburgh Pirates 13-9. So is St. Louis and the Chicago Cubs. So very very tight. And Milwaukee, who was in first place just last week, they're now in last place, but everybody's separated by 2 games. So I think this is probably the most competitive division, really. Even though the East and the American League is strong, but I think all these teams are quality teams. So you might see this pretty much throughout the whole season. But we'll see. Like I said, it's still early. Dodgers doing what they do, 16-6, best record in baseball, first place in the West in the National League. Padres has been playing well, 15-7 for them, only a game out. Diamondbacks, I saw them a couple times. They've been playing pretty good as well at 13-9. Giants 9-13. Excuse me, 9-13. Rockies 9-14. And that's your MLB standings for this week. Not touch too much on or nothing, but like I said, just that it's still early. This could all change in a week. We'll be back in 2 days. We'll see how I look in 2 days, but definitely in a week, the standings change significantly. So we'll see how that goes. But that's it for baseball. I'm not going to waste too much time giving the rest of my comments there. We'll say that maybe we'll talk more about it on Thursday. Let's get into the NBA playoffs, which is pretty much mostly what the show is going to hang on. Um, First round, uh, you see I got Paulo Panchero on the front of my thumbnail this morning. Um, Probably the most impressive win so far has been the Magic. Um, Going to Detroit, winning that first game. Uh, I think they match up well with them. Like I said, it's all about matchups in the playoffs. Yeah, the seedings matter, home court matters, but I think Orlando match up well to Detroit. I don't think this was just a fluke game. I think Detroit will have to really make some adjustments. Cave did his thing. He had 39 points, but again, the rest of the Pistons offensively, it's not consistent. And Orlando can bring that out of you. They're very good defensively. If their offense is flowing, they'd be hard to beat. Bain and Suggs. There was a lot of guys stepped up. Frag Wagner um, played well for the Magic. So I think Orlando, especially if they get game 2, I think you got to really uh, raise your eyebrows. I think you already should. Detroit, we'll see how they bounce back. I don't think they play again until tomorrow for game 2, but um, like I said, that's going to be a tough series there. Um, if we just go off last night, um, Cleveland and Toronto, I think, like I said, we'll see how things go in Toronto, but the Cavaliers, I like the way their offense is flowing. Donovan, he played like he normally plays. James Harden is playing well right now, but if you get this out of Evan Mobley, Cleveland's going to be tough to beat. Jared Allen playing well in the middle, defensively and offensively. Um, so I see Cleveland maybe not playing around, maybe at least splitting in Toronto, probably winning this in 5 games. That's how it started to look. Big win last night for them at home. Um, Probably the game of the night, Atlanta Hawks. Uh, CJ McCollum, he turned back the hands of time. He looked like the Portland CJ McCollum last night. Come back and beat the Knicks 107-106. So that series is now tied. Um, you knew Atlanta, they played well going down the stretch. But the way the Knicks looked pretty much in game one and in this game, because they was pretty much dominating this game. But Cat, he got to play better. Everybody pointing that out. He got to play better, more consistently on the off. He got to be aggressive on the offensive end. And they was talking about Jalen Brunson because CJ was just doing what he wanted to do. Um, and Jalen Brunson, what, 5'11", 6 foot? Um, he's not going to be an anchor or defense, but that's why if he's not scoring, he could be taken out the game very, very quickly. If he's not scoring, then there's no point in him being out there because he can't defend that well. Um, and not taking away nothing from him, but that's just the truth. And Atlanta probably going to exploit that. They got to go back to Atlanta with the series tied. So Knicks got to get one. Um, they go back to New York. So that's going to be a tough series now for the Knicks. Would have been nice to be up 2-0 to have a little cushion, but now that series took it a turn. Minnesota and Denver. I thought I fell asleep during this game. I didn't see a lot of this game, but Atman was Atman. But they say Rudy Gobert showed up, slowed down the Joker enough. Um, I think Jamal Murray, struggled a little bit. So this Minnesota team is so weird. I don't want to say weird, but it's hard to gauge them because they inconsistent sometimes. But they've been in the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years. So and they're not afraid of nobody. I can say that they challenge anybody. Yeah, Ant-Man had 30. Julius Randle had 24. Like I said, Julius Randle probably offensively going to have to be the guy. Now Rudy only had 2 points offensively, only 7 rebounds. But like I said, the whole Joker 8 of 20. I don't want to say hold him. I think he played well. He played them well, but um, I see he shot 1 of 7 from three, which is not too surprising. And then Jamal Murray, of course, didn't shoot the ball, but he still had 30 points. He got to the line, but the supporting cast didn't do much that they normally would do. So, yeah, I think you gotta you run on a roll, so that's big for Minnesota. But I would take this game with I want to say with a grain of salt. But if Justice St. Murray shot a little bit better, um, Denver could have still won. The Denver choked this game though. They was up big. Minnesota fought back, give them credit, but Denver dominated that game mostly. So now that the game is over, that's how y'all look at it if you're Denver. But Minnesota, they got the job done. They go home. We'll see what happened in Minnesota in that series. The other series took place, of course. Just played game one. Thunder Suns, like I said, I think that's going to be the on. I think that's. I would be surprised if the Suns win a game. I think that's going to be a sweep, like I said. Rockets Lakers, I think they play tonight. Of course, did Durant play? That's the biggest question now. If he don't, that evens the player field for the Lakers, not having Luka and Austin Reeves. So hopefully Durant's ready to go. I think he's going to be a game time decision. That's what they said right now. So, but if he don't play, the Lakers have a fighting chance to win this game and to win the series. Spurs Trailblazers. First of all, congratulations to Victor Wembanyama. He's an anomalous defensive player of the year, and it's the first time ever that's happened. I don't want to say I'm surprised, but all the great defensive players over the years, but they never done won it unanimously, and I think he deserves it. He's really nobody, really is nobody close to him as far as defensively the impact that he has. Yeah, people say the game has changed. Um, the way the game is played now, it's hard to really, especially for a guard. I think it's real hard for a guard to win Defensive Player of the Year. You got to pretty much, um, first of all, your coach got to let you play that role, like just like how like a Pat Bev would play. I'm just naming players off the top of my head. A Bruce Bowen, even though that's going back. Uh, Guys that that they don't have to give you much offensively, but they out there to set the defensive tone. There's not a lot of guards as wings that do that now. Um, so, uh, but he plays, but he switches. Like it ain't like he just stays in the paint. He be out there guarding guards and chasing them to the rim and blocking shots. So he's definitely deserving of this award, regardless of how the games are played now. But the Blazers, I mean, I know they handled them pretty well, but the Blazers, I like the way they fight. I just gotta feel, especially if they get the pull, I think they might win a game. But the Spurs, like I said, they will be hard to beat for anybody because of like I said, the guard play, and then you got Wimby in the back. So congratulations to him. He's also a finalist for MVP. I think Shy get that. Um, but great year for Victor. He played well, faced first taste of playoff action, 35 points. So I like the Spurs in this series, of course, but I give the credit to the Blazers as well for fighting this long. We mentioned the Pistons and the Magic already, but like I said, I think um, if Orlando, I think Orlando's going to come out. Can Detroit really make an adjustment? I think Orlando's will come out now smelling blood. Um, Game 8 till tomorrow, I think. So um, we'll see if Detroit can make that adjustment. But the Magic is in a great position. I would say they gotta win game 2, but I think if they do, I think things very really shift to the Magic's favor. They're going home for 2. So we talked about the Cavaliers and the Raptors. That's 2-0 Cleveland. Like I said, I think that's going to end up about 5. I think the Raptors might get a game at home. Brandon Ingram gotta play better. He's your best player as far as offensively for sure. So he's going to play a lot better for the Raptors. Knicks and Hawks we talked about. Um, like I said, big win for Atlanta. Now they go home with momentum. Let's see if the Knicks make some adjustments, but I think Cat going to have to step up offensively for the Knicks, or it's going to be a long series for them. And the Celtics and Sixers didn't mention yet. Celtics up 1 game tonight. I think game 2 is tonight. I think the Eagles, the Sixers are just undermanned. I think Tatum, like I said, I think Tatum and Brown are so motivated, and um, I think VJ and Maxi is too much on them. I don't think they can overstay that. I think this series could be a sweep. Um, and I think the Thunder over the Suns, I think they're sweeps. I think the other games maybe 5. The other series maybe 5. I think, like I said, I think the Knicks Hawks maybe go 6-7. I think Pistons Magic now start to look like that's going to go 6-7 games. Um, I think, like I said, I think the Blazers, Spurs, it might be 5 as well. Lakers and Rockets probably the most series you don't know where to go because is the Rat going to play or not? Um, so I got a feeling that Houston might send them again because I think Houston believes they can beat the Lakers still without them. So they might let them get real healthy, go to Houston, get the Rat back, maybe win like they supposed to in Houston. That's my feeling. I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't play tonight either. Lakers played very well, but the Rockets can neutralize them on defense and just even though they haven't played well in close games, but we'll see if they definitely sit the Rat this game. They believe they can still win this series, but if they don't, if he plays, then I think it's sort of showing a little bit of desperation. So keep an eye on that tonight. with that. Um, so that's the playoffs. So right now, let's look at the games tonight. Um, just to see what's yeah. So we got okay, yeah, Boston and Philly tonight. I think Boston probably beats them again pretty handily. Blazers Spurs. Like I said, I like the Spurs at home. And Rockets Lakers, like I said, game time decision for Durant. So we'll see how that goes. Other news in the NBA this morning, breaking news. Oh, shout out to our man Caper. Haven't seen him in a while. Hope you're doing well, bro. Thanks for your support. I know I've been inconsistent being live and doing videos and stuff, but I haven't heard from him in a while. But he's a Chicago sports fan, and Billy Donovan stepped down today as head coach for the Chicago Bulls. I was seeing some, cause I was watching, I watch ESPN in the morning, so that's first take, and they, the breaking news broke, and they was talking about the Bulls, and they were saying how the Bulls should be a elite organization like Boston and the LA Lakers. I still the only, of course, the only reason why you would even think that is the Jordan era Bulls, the '90s Bulls. But if you take that out, not saying of course not dismissing that, but if you just eliminate that era before the Jordan and after Jordan, basically I'm putting it all on Jordan. The Bulls haven't been a great franchise at all. They just was able to get Michael Jordan. I said they was lucky they drafted him. And he was just that great that he overcame the dysfunction of the Bulls organization. The Bulls always had a dysfunctional organization, so I don't I in my mind I don't put them in the elite. Um, I don't put them up there with the Celtics and the Lakers, where it's just always championships no matter what. Um, and I think if Derrick Rose would have got hurt, I think they might have been, I don't know if they'd have won a championship, but they'd have been right there. Derrick Rose was that good before he got hurt. But other than that, I know they brought up recently when they had the Rosen and Zach Levine, that Bulls team. That team still had a ceiling. They wasn't gonna win no championship. They was decent. They was better, but they wasn't on no championship level. I don't agree with that. Even in the Eastern Conference, with LeBron moving east, moving to the West, because LeBron pretty much was the East for years, in Cleveland and in Miami. So, um, I don't agree with that. I just agree with that. But they always been dysfunctional, and it's just happening again. I think Billy, um, he even wants another head. I know he want another head coaching job. Um, but I wonder if it's college or pro. I think it's some college um, jobs out there for him. So I think that's why he stepped down. But I just think they organization has always been dysfunctional. They won despite um, the head guys in Chicago. So that was breaking news this morning that came out that Billy Donovan stepped down. Not a real surprise either, because it was rumors. There's other, like I said, it's people that wish him. So we'll see if he take one of those jobs or not. Um, so that's the news off the court in the NBA. So we'll see if he takes another job immediately. Yeah, that's how you can tell if the coach go ahead and take another job, he wanted to leave anyway. So, but the Bulls always been a dysfunctional organization. I hope my man Caper either see this video or is in the bushes, because I would like to ask him as a Bulls fan, how do you feel? Do you put them in that? Do you put them in that class with the Celtics and the and the LA Lakers? Because I don't. I don't. I think it's those two franchises. And everybody else, as far as like championships, well, literally championships, but as far as like, okay, you always expect them to win. I don't see the Bulls in that. I don't put them in that category. They pretty much lumped up with all that rest of the organizations, just trying to win one where you can, you know. Okay, what's up? Yeah, that y'all names be so hard. Yeah, it ain't nobody here but you, but yeah. Um, Sorry I can't pronounce your name, but thank you for commenting in the comments. I appreciate you for being here. Um, so that's the NBA playoffs. That's the NBA news for this week. Well, for this week so far. Um, let's move on to the NFL. Let's go to the NFL draft. I'm just going to just touch on the stuff that I think is big news. Of course, the Cincinnati Bengals traded the 10th overall pick for Dexter Lawrence. Some people don't agree with it. Um, I mean, if you look at it, you can look at it two ways. You look at it, what Dexter Lawrence is, even though he had a bad season to his standards. Um, last season only a half a sack, but he played a defense interior. So really, you want them to get sacks, but that's not the main thing. You just want him to disrupt the offense um, in the interior. The Giants wasn't a good team last year, so I wouldn't really, I ain't gonna say it doesn't count because half a sack is a half a sack, but I think he could be an impact in Cincinnati, and they gave him an extension, I think. So people don't understand why they just keep Trey Hendrickson. They should just kept him. Um, but like I said, the Bengals. Well, like I said, as a Ravens fan, I think the Bengals is our biggest competition in the division right now. So um, Joe Burrow, he says what he says, behind the scenes and in public what he can. Um, if he stay healthy, the Bengals would be an issue, but I guess they felt like we don't know what the tenth without tenth, we don't know what this person going to be if we draft him. Let's just get a short person to anchor our defense. I think that was they. So I can't blame him for doing it. I wouldn't have did it. To be honest, I would have just kept my tenth pick and got a younger guy. But this the route they going. So it just shows that they want to win this season and not waste any more of Joe Burrow's years. So you can look at it both ways. But personally, I wouldn't have did it. But I understand why Cincinnati did it. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. Um, you can't hear me? Hold on. Is my sound? My sound like good. Hold up. Hold up. Let me check something real quick. Somebody in the chat saying they can't hear me. Okay, let's see. Uh, 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. All right. Yeah, I can hear myself. Okay. All right. So you probably just trolling a little bit. That's cool. Yeah, you just trolling. That's cool. That's cool. All right. I got you. All right. Well, like I was saying, that's some people didn't agree with the move. I ain't gonna say I don't disagree with it, but I wouldn't have did it either. I probably would have just kept my 10th overall pick and just kept it moving from there. I've heard sound, so if it's not sound on your side, if you joking or not, probably just trolling me, which is cool. Um, I can't, I can, I got good sound over here, so, um, but like I said, that's a big story now. It became a big story. Um, I think, of course, Fernando Mendoza. Everybody's I think he should be number one pick. I should be. I don't think it should be a question. The year that he had, um, hopefully the Raiders do the due diligence and support the young man. Um, of course, Ty Simpson. This kind of quieted down a little bit. Ty Simpson supposed to be the number two quarterback. How high would he go? Will he get passed on? Jeremiah Love, I think that's starting to get a lot of buzz. Who would take him? Um, will they take him high, um, or will a team trade up to get him? I think that's going to be the two biggest stories going into the draft on Thursday night. I think the guy's that good. I think I probably would take him high, as a running back, even though that's not the, a lot of people say you shouldn't take a running back that high. Uh, so we'll see where this kid Reese go, the linebacker out of Ohio State. He's getting a lot of buzz as well. Um, we'll see what team needs is for some teams. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, but I think they're the two biggest stories. I think depending on where them two go. Um, I heard people saying that Arizona should take Love that high. Uh, I think Arizona got too many needs. If I was them, I probably would trade. Well, they don't really have a quarterback either, so I don't know. If I was them, maybe I'd trade down and maybe you get Simpson at a better value. Trade for more picks and still get Simpson and fill your team out. Maybe he'll go to Tennessee. That's a possibility. Um, the Browns at 6 is going to be interesting who they take. Um, Now that they behind Deshaun Watson again, which, like I said, I don't understand it, but they are. The Commanders, that's going to be an interesting choice there at 7. New Orleans at 8. So all these teams have a lot of needs. Everybody want to see what the Chiefs going to do. Will they go defense? Since they lost a lot of defensive guys. The Giants are now 10. So what is they indications? They got 5 and 10. And I think they got 3 first round picks. No, they only got those 2. Okay. So um yeah, first round will be interesting because um yeah, the Love and Simpson will them two. If them two go earlier than you think, then the whole draft might get flipped a little bit. So uh we'll see how that goes on Thursday. Really ain't no other NFL news much. Um Other than the draft. Um Two little things. Everybody been talking about Odell Beckham Jr. going back to the Giants. He did work out for him, and he takes the physical. So I guess the Giants are really, really interested in bringing him back. Um, I think it's good for both the organization and him. Of course, he bounced around since he left the Giants, since he got traded to, where he got traded to first? Was it the Rams? But you know he's been around. He was with the Rams. He was with the um. Where else did he go? With the Ravens here in Baltimore. He went a couple of few places, but I think he was on. Yeah, he was on that Rams Super Bowl team. He got hurt, um, so he didn't finish the game. So um, Trip Williams got signed for the Niners. Got an extension. That was big news. Um, Aubrey for the Cowboys, the place kicker. He get the highest paid. He's the highest paid kicker now. Um, Fred Warner, speaking of the Niners, they're back. Um, Seattle said they might trade down. They got the last pick in the first round. I say why not? If you get, let's just say you trade your 32 and get 2 picks for later on. What's the difference at that point? So that's pretty much smart. A lot of teams do that if they got that 32nd pick. Most of the time, they had traded to get more picks, so not a surprise there. Um, Jimmy Garoppolo considered retirement. I wonder if he does do that. What a career he's had. Was the starter for the Niners for those years. Went to a Super Bowl. Of course, fell short. Um, we'll see if he retires or not. But it's out there. But news in Minnesota. Uh, Justin Jefferson had some words to say about the quarterback position now. Um, let's see if I can get a quote here. Okay, he's just been a little. He just basically said he's excited to play with Kyler. I'm paraphrasing, but then he's basically said JJ gotta, gotta play better, basically. So, but of course, it's been blown up. It's media, so they blew it up a little bit. But I mean, what he said is sort of true. Even though McCarthy hasn't been able to stay on the field for them, um, but I think Kyler is the starter for right now, unless he get hurt or something happens in training camp. I think Kyler Murray will be the starter for the Vikings. Um, so I think Justin just basically just state the truth, but also knowing that Kyler's your starter, you're not going to say too much negativity about him. Um, but Minnesota, they've been on the fringe the last few years. If they had any type of quarterback, they would have won. They probably would have been Seattle this year with Sam Darnold, even though they had Sam Darnold, ironically, but they still won 7 games, 8 games with no quarterback. So um, they really, literally a quarterback away. So in a tough division, like I said, with Green Bay and uh, the Chicago Bears, they took a step forward last year. The Lions are still a decent team, so it's going to be tough either way. But they have a quarterback, they have a chance. So that's how they feel as an organization. So I don't think Justin Jefferson said anything off the wall, but of course it got overblown because that's just how the media is sometimes. All right, so that's pretty much it for for today because we'll be back Thursday. We dive deeper into the NFL draft, NBA playoffs. It'll be some games. Game three should be on the horizon by Thursday morning. We'll take a look at the MLB standings once again. Like I said, sorry I was late this morning. Just woke up late. Um, uh, thank you guys. Thank you guys for your patience. As far as my gaming this week, what's today? Tuesday. So just look out for some random videos, uploads. Um, check out all my projects there. Um, Wednesday, tomorrow night, we'll be playing Forever Skies live at 8. So join me tomorrow night. We haven't played that game in a while. But I know they added some stuff to it, so maybe we'll find some new stuff and play a little bit with that. Um, then Thursday we'll be back here, same. Well, hopefully I'm on time, 10 o'clock for the blog, episode 329. Like I said, we'll look at NFL draft. It'll be draft night, draft day. So we'll take a look at that. Friday night, got a little, I wouldn't say a surprise. I hinted it, but I will announce the game on Friday morning. So check out my community wall. Um, sort of dang, what would you call it? It was a prequel was before, so it's a sequel to a game that I already played. That's the only hit I'm gonna give up. So if you want to try to guess, just go through my games that I played already and pick one and see if you're right or not. Game just got released this week, so I'm definitely going to play that Friday night. And then Sunday, well, by Friday, I have a poll ready for the games you want to see. see me play on Sunday night. So just keep an eye out on my community wall. Excuse me, like I said, sorry about last week. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate y'all being supportive. Um, but I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. Um, Thanks to everybody who commented. Um, Definitely watch the replay. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Y'all been great. Um, we have 486 subscribers. Hopefully, we get to 500 soon. Um, Thank you, everybody who commented. Thank you to all my subscribers. I appreciate it. And I see you guys Thursday morning. I see you guys tomorrow night, really, um, for Wednesday night stream. And I appreciate you guys so much. Peace and love always. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys. Y'all have a great week. And I'll see you guys Thursday morning on the blog and tomorrow night for Wednesday night stream. Thank you guys. Wow, Wednesday. Appreciate it. So, thank you guys. Peace and love always. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys soon.